The mask of humility in coaching. A common phrase in the coaching world is "in my perspective." On the surface, it sounds harmless, even humble. After all, everyone has a perspective. But when coaching use it, the phrase doesn't function as humility at all. It becomes a mask, a linguistic trick that positions the coach as the one who sees reality more clearly than you ever could. This is where the L in NLP, Linguistic, does its heavy lifting. Language is reframed, recoded, and repurposed until everyday conversation is no longer equal ground. The coach holds the map, and you are just a participant in their version of reality. The disarming phrase. When a coach says, "in my perspective," it feels non-threatening. It suggests openness, even equality. It frames the coach as offering a contribution, not a decree. But that's the disarming move. The minute the words are spoken, the dynamic shifts. In coaching, perspective is never just an opinion. It's the higher ground, the deeper truth, the insight you haven't reached yet. The mask of humility hides a claim of superiority. Opinion becomes truth. The real danger isn't in the phrase itself, but in what follows. "In my perspective" quickly morphs into "this is what's really happening." If you disagree, you're not merely offering another view, you're exposing your resistance, your blind spot, or your limited thinking. It's a clever double bind. Accept their perspective, and you've stepped into their framework. Reject it, and you've confirmed their diagnosis that you don't get it. Either way, the coach's language wins. Language as hierarchy. This is the elitist core of NLP and integral-style coaching. They don't just describe reality, they claim the right to define it. Everyday words are stripped of their ordinary meaning and replaced with categories and jargon. Listening becomes download listening versus active listening. Maturity becomes choosing in context. Resistance becomes your growth edge. These redefinitions place the coach above you, as the interpreter of what things really mean. The hierarchy is set. The coach knows. You learn. The shield against challenge. The brilliance of the "in my perspective" mask is that it shields the coach from scrutiny. It's hard to argue against someone's perspective. To do so feels like you're shutting down their personal view. But inside the coaching frame, it's not just a view, it's a prescription. This shield gives coaches the perfect balance, the appearance of openness with the reality of control. The relational fallout. When exported into personal life, the results can be devastating. I experienced this directly. My partner, trained in these methods, would insist I wasn't listening properly. She demanded I repeat her words back to prove I had heard her. It wasn't a dialogue, it was a test. What sold in coaching as empathy and connection became, in practice, demeaning and elitist. It sent the message, "You're not doing it the right way, so you're not on my level." It turned intimacy into performance. It wasn't listening, it was compliance. The bigger picture. This is how coaching ideology sustains itself. By using the mask of humility, it avoids looking authoritarian while achieving the same outcome. Coaches appear gentle, curious, open, yet their language ensures they always set the frame, define the problem, and hold the solution. The promise is empowerment. The practice is dependency. The next time you hear a coach say, "in my perspective," pause before accepting the mask at face value. Ask, is this really just an opinion, or is it being slipped in as truth under the cover of humility? Because once you see how language is being used, the mask drops. And what lies beneath isn't humility at all, but an ideology that insists it knows better, always.